Hey GPU heads, thanks for clicking on my video. 𝗧-𝗦𝗧𝗦 here, and have you guys heard of RavenCoin Lite? It's basically a brand new GPU mineable coin, and it is a fork off of Ravencoin Classic, and I figured let's have a look at it together today. I'm going to show you how to mine it, and then I'm probably also going to mine it for a while, and we can see sort of my yield and all of that. So yeah, let's stop waffling and let's get into it, shall we? Alrighty, we're at the computer now, and just before we get started, there are two things. First of all, I want to say thank you to 𝗏 and to 𝗦𝗡𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏 to my attention, and 𝗦𝗏𝗏 actually has a video on mining Ravencoin Lite already, and he also goes a lot more in depth into the actual Ravencoin Lite project than what I will do in this video. So you should all definitely go check his video out. I'll leave that in the card, wherever that is. I think, is it this corner or that corner or whatever. I'll leave it in the description as well. But then I also want to talk to you guys about what this actually is. So what we'll get into in this video is what's called spec mining, as in speculative mining, which is, this is a brand new coin basically. It's forked off of Ravencoin Classic, and it is a coin that more or less does not have a value yet. And when we mine a coin like this, it is not to make an instant profit. It is purely for speculation. We are mining this to get us like a big bag of it, in the hopes that once it starts getting listed on more exchanges, if that does happen, that the price of this coin could skyrocket. So basically what this is a complete risk taking, and as I said, we're not mining this to make a sure profit now. And why I'm going to be mining it for this video is both for the sake of, you know, a fun experiment that you guys can see, and hopefully you'll enjoy the video of me doing it, but also because of the speculative nature of it. You know, I'm not expecting Ravencoin Lite to skyrocket in price, but it could. But also bear in mind, it very well could also just go to zero and be completely worthless, and then this will have always been a waste of time. But as we'll see, when you find a coin that is brand new like this and the network hash rate is still very, very low, you could mine a lot of that coin. And then if that coin does take off in price, then you'll be really happy. But just know that it is definitely a risk we're taking here. But with that out of the way, let's have a look at the computer now, and let's see what we're working with, right? Okay, so we are on the official Ravencoin Lite web page now. You can see the address is RavenCoinLite.org, and I'm not going to look too closely at this in this video because, as I said, 𝗦𝗏𝗏𝗏 did a great job just explaining the basics of the actual sort of technology behind the coin. And if that's of interest to you, I would just recommend you go watch his video instead, because that will be better than mine in terms of that. But there is one thing I want us to look at here, which is relevant for mining it. So as it says here, Ravencoin Lite is a GPU secured blockchain with privacy. GPU secured, focus for us, right? And so let's look at what it says here. It's got a reward of 2,500 RVL, which is Ravencoin Lite, per block. You got a 30-second block time. And then this is what I wanted to get to, which is 21 billion total supply. This means that there will ever only be a maximum of 21 billion Ravencoin Lites, basically, right? And why I'm bringing that up and putting emphasis on that is, if we look here at the official Ravencoin webpage, we can see that is exactly the same total coin supply as Ravencoin. So what does that mean in terms of price? And again, I want to preface this by nothing in this video is financial advice. I also want to say I cannot tell the future, and this is speculative mining, all right? But we're talking hypothetically here. What that means is that at the very least, Ravencoin Lite could reach the same prices as Ravencoin has seen in the past. And just in very simple terms, how that works and why I can say that is, well, because with a total supply of 21 billion, right? Like one coin probably can never reach the price that, say, we've seen on Bitcoin, because, you know, the total supply would be worth more than there is total money in the world or something. That math probably doesn't work out, but that is why we can make a very, very loose analysis of how much a coin at least could be worth at some point. Not saying that it will be worth this at some point, but that it could. I hope you understand the difference there. And so, like, going forward in this video, I'm just gonna be working off of that hypothetical, right? But that's enough waffling and disclaimers and everything. We want to get to how to mine this coin, right? And so that is what we're gonna do right now. All right, so let's keep looking here, and let's go to the menu and let's click on wallet. So this page actually gives us quite a bit of the information we need to start mining it. So the very first thing we need in order to mine Ravencoin Lite is obviously a Ravencoin Lite wallet. And so because this is such a new coin, you can't just store it in, you know, you can't mine it to Coinbase or any exchange like that, or there also isn't support for it in any of the established bigger wallets like Exodus and so on, right? So what you have to do is you have to download the official Ravencoin Lite core wallet, basically, like developed by the actual Ravencoin Lite Foundation. And so the way you do that is you go to RavenCoinLite.org, go to, you know, wallet, and then you have to go to their GitHub here by clicking right here. So as of now, I believe they only have a full release of the wallet for Windows, but you can also compile it yourself from their open source for both Linux and Mac OS. But so to download it for Windows, all you have to do basically is go to their GitHub where I'm here and download the executable. All right, so let's download the wallet and set it up, right? So we're gonna click the Raven-Qt executable, and we're just gonna download and save that. Now, depending on your antivirus, it might say something like this: it's been blocked because it could harm your device. I'm just gonna say keep, and I'm gonna say keep anyway, and that should be it for that basically. Now I'm just gonna open the file right away like this, and as you do, you'll be greeted by something like this. And basically what it's saying is it needs to, it's basically gonna install the wallet onto your computer, right? And so it needs 8 gigs of data to do this, and you can either set a custom directory for where you want it to store that, or just use the default data directory. And once you hit OK, it's going to download the full Raven blockchain, and basically once that's done, you can start using this wallet as any crypto wallet, more or less. So I'm going to hit OK, and you might be greeted by something like this. So basically what this is saying now is it's currently syncing your wallet to the blockchain, more or less. And so you need to let that finish before you can start using the wallet properly. So I'm just going to stop the recording, and I'll check back in with you when that's done. And also while it's doing this, you can see here it's got about 30,000 blocks left to download. and it's about 10 days behind right now. Not meaning it's gonna take another 10 days to download, but that's up to the point in the blockchain it's got to. I also want to say that apparently if you have the Ravencoin, the regular Ravencoin core wallet installed on your computer, there could be a database mismatch between these two. So for now, let's be safe and don't download and install the Ravencoin Lite core wallet on a computer where you already have a regular Ravencoin core wallet. So just be mindful of that, please. Alright, so while that keeps syncing, let's talk about how to actually mine this coin after we got our wallet set up. So as with any other coin, what we need is we need our wallet, we need a mining software, and we need our pool, right? So let's start with our pool, shall we? And as I always do when looking for a pool to mine a coin, I go to good old miningpoolstats.stream, and as you can see, Ravencoin Lite is listed here on miningpoolstats.stream, which is great. And I want to lead your attention to this pool here, which is coinminers.com, or is it coinminerz.com, I'm not sure. But the reason why I'm bringing that pool up is because, as you can see, they've got a 1% pool fee. However, they've pledged to donate part of that pool fee back into the Ravencoin Lite development foundation, basically. So by mining through coinminers.com, you are actively helping to fund the research and development for the coin itself, which is great for the coin, right? And if it's great for the coin, it's great for us miners of the coin, right? So let's go to coinminers.com here, and this is their website. I'm gonna open up the menu, gonna click coin pools, and we're gonna scroll all the way down here, and we can see the algorithm to mine Ravencoin Lite is actually not 𝗘𝗫𝗏, which is the algorithm for Ravencoin. It is this algorithm called 𝗥16R. So let's open up our Ravencoin Lite page here, and before we get deeper into the pool here, let's talk about mining software, right? Like downloading a miner. And the miner of my choice for this will be 𝗕𝗏𝗥. However, the latest versions of 𝗕𝗏𝗥 actually don't have the 𝗥16R algorithm in them anymore. So what we're gonna have to do is we're gonna have to download a slightly older version of 𝗕𝗏𝗥. So if we come back to our RavenCoinLite.org web page here, and if we scroll down, the Ravencoin Lite people, foundation, whatever, have actually listed a bunch of supported miners here. So as we can see, 𝗕𝗏𝗥 is listed here. So I'm just gonna go to the 𝗕𝗏𝗥 miner GitHub page, and it's gonna send us right to the 0.19.4 version of 𝗕𝗏𝗥, which is the last version that supported the needed 𝗥16R algorithm, right? And so for Windows, the version of the miner that I found that works was the 0.19.14 CUDA 11.1. So I'm just going to download this into my miners folder. And here again is where you might have to make an exclusion in Windows Defender and your antivirus software in order to download this. But then I'm just going to go to this folder, and I'm going to extract this zip archive here. So now, the first time you run this older version of 𝗕𝗏𝗥 miner, you might get a little warning pop-up saying basically that 𝗕𝗏𝗥 is unable to run because of some missing .dll files. And if you do get that error message, unfortunately I cannot show you because I already fixed it on my computer, right? But I'll show you how you need to fix it. And basically what you need to do is you need to download what's called the Visual C++ support or whatever. And basically what you need to do is you need to come to this page, which I'll post the link for in the description of this video, and you just need to download the appropriate let's see what they call it. They call it the Microsoft Visual C++ Redistributable for Visual Studio 2015, 2017, and 2019. That's what you need to download basically. And so for me, it was the x64 one that I needed to download. So then you just download that, run the executable to install it, reboot your rig, and you should be good to go basically. All right, so now we got our mining software, our wallet, and our pool. Now let's just put them all together and we can start mining the coin, right? So the very first thing that you need to do is you need to make a custom batch file for your T-Rex miner, right? So what I'm gonna do is I'm just going to copy one of the preset ones and I'm gonna rename it rvl.bat. There we go. And I'm gonna right click it, edit. And so basically we can see here what it's supposed to look like to mine ETH, right? But we wanna mine RVL. So the very first thing is we need to change the algorithm from ETH hash to x16r. Then we need to set our appropriate pool stratum address and port, right? So to do that, we need to come back here to coin miners, and here you can pick where you want to point, like which pool server you want, right? So you're gonna pick the one that's physically closest to you, be that Europe, America, or I believe this is Singapore. So I'm just going to go with the EU one today, and I'm just going to paste that like so. Now we need to replace the default wallet here with the Ravencoin Lite wallet address that we made. So in order to do that, we need to open up our Ravencoin Lite core wallet that's done syncing and is all set up, and we need to click the button out here that says receive. And so here you can sort of make a custom request for someone to send you some Ravencoin Lite, but we don't need to fill any of this in. All we need to do is we need to click request payment here, and it will bring this up. And as you can see down here, this is your Ravencoin Lite wallet address. So what we just need to do is we can either just select it and hit Ctrl+C on our keyboard, or I believe you can also just click this copy address button down there. And now we just paste that into our wallet address here. And so we're gonna talk about the password here in a little bit, but as for now, we also just need to know that we need to set the worker name. So I'm just going to name this one RVL1, and let's hit the X button and save. So now I'm just going to run this and I'll show you what that looks like. And so while that starts up, I wanted to show you this as well. So our Raven Core wallet will display, you know, your RVL balances and all that, but you don't need to keep this open and online at all times. You can actually just close this. And as you can see, it's saying Raven Core is shutting down. And there you go. Now the coins will still reach your wallet even if that's, you know, closed and shut down. What you need to do is just need to open it back up, and then it will sync with all of the transactions that has happened to your wallet address basically. And so as we can see here, the miner is starting up and it is just smashing through shares right now. This is exactly what I mean with mining a coin when the network hash rate is very, very low. As you can see, like I've barely opened it and we're over 100 shares submitted successfully already. That should show you just how low the network hash rate is. And there we go. There you can see our hash rate. So and also bear in mind, this is without overclocks on these GPUs. So, but yeah, you can see what I have in here: a 3070 Ti, 4 3070s, and a 1066 gig basically. And wow, it is just screaming through all of these shares right now. I can barely keep up. And just before we move on from this, there's something else that I want to show you, which is on our pool here, we can actually set a custom payout threshold. So I believe how it normally works right now is, you get a payout every 30 minutes as long as your minimum threshold of 0.1 Ravencoin Lite has been met basically, which you should probably be able to meet within 30 minutes. But if you don't want to get a payout every 30 minutes of every hour of every day, you might want to set a much higher payout threshold than that. And the way we do that on this pool is actually by setting our password in our T-Rex batch file. So let's have a look at how to do that. So we can see here the custom commands we can use in our password field. You can use d equals the difficulty you want to mine if you want to set a specific, like a specified difficulty for your GPUs, or if you want to set a custom payout threshold, which is what I want to show you how to do now, is you basically just put MP equals and then the amount. So for example, if you set MP equals 50, you won't be paid out until you reach a pending balance of 50 Ravencoin Lites on the pool, right? So the way that would look is just you copy this, you open up and edit your Ravencoin Lite batch file, and here in the password field, instead of X, you put MP equals 50. And that's it. Oh, and by the way, now I haven't played too much with overclocking for this particular coin yet, but what I've found so far is that basically using the same overclocks you use on Ravencoin seem to work pretty well on Ravencoin Lite as well, even though it is a different algorithm. So it could be a good starting point for overclocks, and then of course tweak them as applicable to your GPUs, right? And watch my previous video on how to overclock any card for mining any coin. But what we're gonna move on to now is I'm gonna put my whole mining farm on Ravencoin Lite for, I don't know, I haven't decided how long yet. Probably, well, at least a day and maybe even a couple days. And so what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna set all of my rigs up just like I showed you here, and I'll check back in with you when it's been a couple of days, and let's see just how much Ravencoin Lite I have mined in that time, and let's take it from there, shall we? See you in the future. Okay, so let's have a look at the rigs I've got running here. So first of all, we have this rig, which is a 13 by 1660 super rig, and that is giving us around 200 megahash or so. We're getting around 15 to 16 megahash per card here. And then of course in here we have our second 13 by 1660 super rig, and that is giving us around 200 megahash as well. And then up here we got 4 3060s and one 3060 Ti LHR up here, and that's giving us, well, it says 113 megahash right now. And then we got our sort of mixed 30 series rig here with some 3070s, a 3070 Ti and one 1060, and that's giving us around 225 megahash or so. And then finally we got our hodgepodge rig here with some 1060s, some 1070s, a 1080 and a couple of 1660s, and that's giving us around 160 megahash or so. Alright, so we're back at the computer, and it's been pretty much exactly 72 hours now mining Ravencoin Lite on all of my whole mining farm, right? And so there's a few things that I want to bring to your attention before we get into the actual results of this experiment, right? So I've got we're just on like my little test rig here, where I've got just one 1660 super mining, and as you can see here, and this is what I found with all of my GPUs on all of my rigs, is the hash rate kind of moves all over the place. Here you'll see it was almost touching 20 megahash, and then just, you know, a couple minutes later it's like 17 and a half, and now down to 16 and a half, and yeah, now down to 16.17 megahash. So I mean, this just seems to be how like the hash rate works on this coin, because all of my GPUs are doing it and are behaving this way. So what that does is it makes overclocking really difficult, because since the hash rate moves up and down all the time anyway, it's kind of hard to know if you change, you know, something in your overclocks and your hash rate increases. Was that due to how you change your overclocks, or just due to the fact that the hash rate changes all the time? Who knows? But that said, you know, just pushing your overclocks to kind of where you know they go to safely on other coins should kind of give you somewhat decent results. So with that out of the way, let's have a look at our results for these 72 hours of mining Ravencoin Lite on everything, right? So to put into perspective sort of how much hash power, this whole farm gives me around 1.3 gigahash on Ethereum, as well as around 200 megahash on Ravencoin. So that is what we're working with here. So let's get the pool up here. All right, so here we are on the dashboard for my farm on the pool. And as you can see, the hash rate moves around quite a bit, just like it would, you know, pool side for any other coin. But as you can see, we're kind of bouncing between 0.7 and 1.2 gigahash total. And if we scroll down here, we can see our total paid, which is about 433,305 Ravencoin Lite coins, right? As well as an immature balance of around 3,000 Ravencoin Lites. So, but yeah, what does that mean? Well, that means that mining this on my whole farm for 72 hours, I made about, or I yielded about 436,000 Ravencoin Lites. So what is that actually? Well, actually, as of now, that is pretty much nothing, $0, right? However, if this coin were to go to $1 now, you know, I definitely would not complain, right? But that said, it could also just not go anywhere ever. And that is the whole point of speculative mining, right? And that would have just meant that I just wasted all of my hash power for 72 hours. Oh well. But you know, if you never take a chance, you never win, right? So what will I do now? Will I keep mining this? Well, no. I feel like I have a pretty significant bag of this coin now, and I'm happy to stop there. I'm going to put my farm back as it was on Ravencoin, you know, regular Ravencoin and Ethereum. And that will be it for this Ravencoin Lite experiment for me, as for now, at least. And I guess now, let's just see what this coin does in the future. Fingers crossed, right? And if this video has been helpful or entertaining to you, then please give it one of these. I'd really appreciate it. And what you gotta do now is you gotta click on one of those videos on the screen, because this video is over. You can also click the picture of my face to subscribe to the channel. I'd really appreciate that. But yeah, go click on that next video and I'll see you there. Goodbye. Bye bye. Bye bye. Goodbye.